So lately I've been interacting with a lot of content from older people, people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on. And the reason is such people, having lived out most of their lives, they tend to have a clearer picture of life itself. So they have the benefit of hindsight, which we do not have as younger people. So if it's a decision that someone made while they were in their 20s, they can be able to look back and say that maybe that particular decision that I made wasn't the best in that particular scenario. So there are maybe other options which probably could have been more fulfilling. So when you're at the end of the road, you can look back, and thanks to your experience, you can advise others who are behind you, others who are starting out their journey. And if they can learn from you, then maybe they can avoid making the mistakes that you yourself made. And I usually say this, that experience is the best teacher. But if you can learn from someone else's experience, then that is a good substitute teacher as well. We don't have to make the same mistakes that our grandparents made. We don't have to make the same mistakes that our parents made. But having said that, we need not be afraid of making mistakes ourselves, because through those mistakes we learn, through those mistakes we grow and we get better. But sometimes we are too cautious in life to even try out new things. We are too afraid to start that business for fear of it failing. We are too afraid to ask a certain girl out for fear of rejection. And this is something that personally I've experienced way too many times. I used to be afraid of approaching girls because I'd be like, oh, she's going to snob me. But nowadays I'm like, what the hell? If she snobs me, then I'll go cry into my pillow the whole evening, and then the following morning I'll wake up and I'll be good. There's a quote by Mark Twain that I really love. It says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you did not do than by the ones you did. That's why you will hear older people tell you, I wish I was as young as you are. I'd try this and that. I'd live life. I'd start that business. I'd take this course. I'd travel the world. It almost sounds as though they are envious of us, but they have their chance. They were young once. But now, they sound like they're full of regret. They regret not taking chances when they were younger, and now time is not on their side. They are old and grey. Benjamin Franklin said, some people die at 25 but aren't buried until 75. Well, personally, when I get to 75 years old, I want to look back and say, that was a life well lived. I want to be proud of my time here on earth. I don't want to have regrets for not taking chances, for not living life. I want to die at 75 and get buried at 75 with no regrets. Yes, I prefer the pain of failure to that of regret. And that's why lately I've been so interested to learn what older people regret the most. And as I was doing my reading, I came across a list of 9 regrets that most people have when they get older. So let's get into it. The first regret that most people have when they get older is not living true to oneself. So when you're old and grey, probably on your deathbed, your bank balance won't matter to you at that time. You won't care what others think about you. And that's why most people will regret not living a life that's true to themselves. They spend most of their time worrying about what others expected of them. But I'm here to tell you that you can choose to live that life now, the life that you want for yourself. You can live it now. You don't have to wait until it's too late. There's this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that I really love, which says, you wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. So just live life. So the second regret that most people have when they get older is working too much. A lot of people find themselves having achieved success that feels empty. They spent their entire lives chasing success at the expense of what really mattered to them in life. Stephen Covey, in his best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, gives the example of getting at the top of the corporate ladder at the expense of having a family, which is really what you valued most, and now the chance to do that is gone. So what he proposes as the remedy here is writing a eulogy, your own eulogy, and I found that to be a very interesting idea. So think about what you want your family, friends, colleagues, and the community to say about you at your funeral. What kind of son, what kind of daughter, mother, father, what kind of brother, sister, friend, business associate would they describe you as? What accomplishments and contributions will they credit you with? How will you be remembered? That way, you'll be able to know what really matters most to you. Is it your family? Is it your career? Or is it both? So, writing your own eulogy helps you begin with that picture of you at the end of your life as your frame of reference or criterion against which anything else is examined. By keeping the end clearly in mind, then everything else that you do on a daily basis becomes aligned to that final destination. And anything that detracts you from that destination, You set it aside. Each day of your life then ends up contributing in a meaningful way to the vision that you have of your life as a whole. And that way, you won't find yourself having achieved success that feels empty, or being successful at the expense of what really matters most to you in life. So the third regret that most people have when they get older is not expressing how they truly felt. Now, this one I'm super guilty of. I feel as though I never express what I really feel to people who are close to me. That's friends, family, colleagues. I don't tell these people how much I love them, how much they mean to me. And that's really sad. I seriously need to work on that. So if you're like me and you never let people know what you truly feel, then maybe we should pause this video and make that call to that special someone in your life. Do it before it's too late. Do it while you still can. So the fourth regret that most people have when they get older is not staying in touch with friends. Again, this one, it's another one that I'm guilty of. I mean, there are friends that I haven't talked to in a while, yet I still consider them as my friends. Same case with former colleagues, childhood friends, classmates from primary, high school, even campus. And I usually take pride in the fact that even when we stay for months without talking, as and when we talk, we actually end up talking for hours, but that is nothing to take pride in, to be honest. I need to do better. I need to move from that one call in 6 months to at least a call every 3 months to maybe a call every month, and eventually to something like a call every 2 weeks. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but I think it's something that I have to do. So I don't want to regret much later on when that person is not around. I don't want to wish that I'd call them more often. Yeah, I really need to work on that. So if you're my friend, if you're family, please, that is a promise that I'm keeping to you. So the number 5 regret that most people have when they get older is not taking better care of themselves. And at least I'm faring much better, or I'd like to think so. But most people, when they get older, they wish they had made self-care a priority. They wish they worked out more. They wish they ate healthier. They wish they had enough sleep, took days off to rest. Believe it or not, those fries that you're eating every day, they will come to haunt you one day. So take better care of your body, your mind, and soul. Do it now. Your body will thank you later when your age mates are spending tons of money on hospital bills due to age-related and lifestyle-related illnesses while you are perfectly healthy. There's this Alex Omozi quote that I really love. It says, people are willing to commit heinous acts all in the name of their political party, but aren't willing to work out 3 times a week, which will likely have a greater impact on your life than whoever you vote for. Think about that for a minute as we move on to regret number 6. So regret number 6 that most people have when they get older is not taking enough risks. And I think this is where most people are. They just never take risks. They never get out of their comfort zones. They play it safe. They fear failure and rejection. And that fear of failure and rejection holds them back from ever pursuing their dreams. And when they get older, they deeply regret it because they know that had they taken the risks, then their lives would have been much more fulfilling. So remember that 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you did not do than by the ones you did. That Mark Twain quote perfectly sums up this fear. So throw caution to the wind and live the life that you are meant to live. Again, personally, I'd choose the pain of failure over the pain of regret any day, anytime. Think about it this way. In 3 generations, all the people that you know will be gone, including those people whose opinions stopped you from doing what you wanted to do all along. You will be forgotten. So do it now. Set aside insecurities or use them as fuel. Set aside the fear and like Mikey, just go ahead and do it. Do it afraid if you have to, but for goodness sake, just do it. There's another quote by Alex Hormozi that I really love. It says, it is easier to be lazy than it is to fail. Because failure means that you actually tried, that you got out of your comfort zone and did something. Here's the thing, as soon as you actually try, you realize how little you have to do to beat the people who do nothing. There are far fewer people who failed than people who are too lazy to try. So go out there, try and fail, try again and fail some more. Very few people are actually trying, so you're far better off in your failure. There's this line by Jay-Z from the song On to the Next One that I really love. It says, I cannot be scared to fail in the search of perfection. So embrace failure, my friend. Failure is your friend. Take risks while you still can. Take risks while you still can. So regret number 7 that most people have when they get older is not spending enough time with loved ones. And this one, sadly, I am very much guilty of. So when you're at the end of your road, when you're lying on your deathbed, the only people that will be there with you holding your hand will be your family and friends. At that time, you're going to wish that you had spent more time with them. So do it now. Spend time with them now while you're still alive. Go out with the family and have a good time with them while you still can. The wealth, the success, the money, the power that you're chasing right now can never replace the lost time with family and friends. Actually thought I was making this video for you, but it turns out that I needed it more because it's making me do some serious reflection on my life. Anyway, on to regret number 8 before I start getting emotional here. So regret number 8 that most people have when they get older is not being present. So older people regret not living in the moment. They regret that they spent most of their time thinking about the past and worrying about the future, which is something, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, we all do it. We worry too much about things that will never happen, things that are beyond our control, and consequently we are never present in the moment. So live a little, enjoy today. The past is behind you and you cannot do anything about it. The future is, well, the future is the future, and no amount of worrying about it will change it anyway. On to regret number 9 that most people have when they get older: not pursuing their passions. And this one goes hand in hand with not taking risks. We are conditioned to think that life is all about going to school, getting good grades, getting a well-paying job, working for 30 or 40 years like a slave, and then retiring. No, it doesn't have to be like that for you. You can do things that excite you. You don't have to stick with that job that you hate. You can actually do something about it. You can change your situation. It will just need you to get out of your comfort zone and take the risk. We are raised up to think that we're not supposed to rock the boat, that you should only take the safe route, the safe job, that you're not supposed to risk that safe job in the name of following your dreams and passions. No, this life is too short for that. You are not meant to just work in that job that you hate. You're not just meant to pay bills and eventually die. You are meant for so much more than that. So those are the 9 top regrets by older people. Kind of makes you reflect on life, right? What it will be like when you get to age 60, 70, 80, 90, or even 100. There's an 1856 poem titled Maud Muller. It's by John Greenleaf Whittier. Now, there's a line that has always stuck with me ever since I read it. It says, "Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been." If you have the time, please go read that poem. It's about a beautiful maid named Maud Muller. One day, she meets a judge from the local town and they are both attracted to each other. The maid wishes she could be the wealthy judge's wife, and the judge wishes he could be a local farmer married to the maid, but neither lets the other know of these feelings. So they go on with their lives. The maid marries a local uneducated farmer while the judge marries a woman who's only with him because of his riches. Not a day passes by without each remembering the day that they met, and they always wonder what might have been. Now, a lot of people are like that. We just never take chances. You see a beautiful girl on the street and you're too anxious to approach her. You have a good business idea, but you're too afraid to start it. So now you're constantly tormenting yourself, filled with regret, always wondering what might have been. Very sad indeed. That's why I keep preaching that the pain of failure or even the pain of rejection is far better than the pain of regret. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That is a quote by Wayne Gretzky, arguably the greatest hockey player ever. If you want people to remember you, you have to take the shot. Take that chance, start that business, ask that girl out, apply for that job, take that risk. When you're 85 years old and on your deathbed, you're not going to wish that you had fewer crazy stories. So that's it for this episode. If you found value in it, please consider subscribing for more. Till next time, news. Oh, and by the way, before I leave, next episode I'll be doing a review of this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Really good book. I loved it, and I'm sure you're going to love it as well. And during that review, I'll be giving out this book to one of you guys. So yes, make sure you stay tuned. Till next time, peace.